I'm going to sit down there.
Yeah.
But if I can't get up, you're going to have to help me, right?
Yeah.
We'll grab my scarf and somebody will pull one end of the scarf and I'll pull the other end. And I got all this stuff. Yeah. This is all filled with hard work for you to have to do.
Phew.
Yeah, you're going to have to do every little bit of hard work in here.
Okay.
Wow. Can we high five?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I said about no high five. You were into hard work. Into hard work is a good thing.
We'll go like that.
So, you all, I understand, went onto my website today.
Yes.
Did it make sense?
Yes.
Really? You got it.
Yeah, we saw you on TV. Yeah. On your website. We saw you on a video.
Oh, was I good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Your hair was great.
I think the last TV video I did. Oh, I know which one it was. It was ageless TV. It was my hair short or long?
Long.
It was long.
Little both.
Oh, a little of both. One side was short and one side was long.
No, just short and then really long, like what's her name? I don't know. I was about to call her.
I had a French braid. That was like a lot of years ago. Did I look a lot younger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I look a lot older now, don't I? And you know what? That's a good thing, because it means that I've lived a lot of years, and I love it. I love it. I hope you live this many years and more. So here's the deal. First I have to get down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes, we got questions already.
My grandma lived to be 94.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's a wonderful, wonderful age. I'm not there yet, but I hope I am one day. I saw another hand. Was it your hand that I saw?
Oh, I'm on TV.
Oh, wee! So we all have to smile. 'Cause we're on TV. So, do you know my name? CJ Golden. And you know what the CJ stands for? This is a secret. This is something I don't often tell. My real name, my full name is Karen, and my middle name is Jane.
Whoa.
Karen Jane Golden. And I figured CJ is kind of, I don't know, kind of hip, kind of modern, kind of cutesy, catchy. Good one. Yeah, you think so? I should remain CJ. Besides, it's easier to write than the whole thing. And you learned about what I do. You learned that I'm a writer, and you learned what I write about. I write for women and for girls to teach us all to be bold, you know that word, and strong,
Yeah.
and smart, and self-confident. Do you know that word?
Yes.
What is confidence, and what is self-confidence? And if I point at you and you don't want to answer, that's cool. This isn't really a school. It's not a test.
It's when you feel like you can do something, and it's really daring, or you feel like you're really good at this.
When you have confidence, you think you can do stuff. You feel good about yourself. Another term for that is self-esteem. When you hold something in high esteem, that means you think well of it. You think it's really great. And when you have self-esteem or self-confidence, you think, hey, I can do that. If somebody had said to me once, why don't you write a book? And if I said, I can't write a book. I'm not good enough to write a book. Is that self-confidence?
No.
But if I said, yeah, write a book. I have stuff to say. I know enough words. I can use a computer. That is self-confidence. So I write so women and girls have self-confidence. I try to help us all have self-confidence because not everybody does. And sometimes you think you do, and then something comes around and you really don't have that confidence. So what I talk about is something called Tao. Did you read that on the website?
Yes.
Do you remember what Tao is? Do you remember?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. That's because it's hard to remember when you've just read about something once, but here it is. Tao is a way of living. It comes from China. Do you know the country, China?
Yeah.
A gazillion years ago. The Tao is older than I am. Even older than I am. And the Tao is a way of living that teaches us to accept that we are part of nature. You know, like the flowers and the trees? They're not separate and individual from us. We're all part of the universe together. We're all part of nature together. And Tao says we're all part of nature. Things are going to change. So we're going to change and accept it. Have you had any changes in your life recently? What's changed in your life? You didn't? So that was a change. You had CJ ask you a question. Anybody have any changes in their life? What happened?
One time, my mom, she, like, I forgot.
That's okay. I've had changes in my life. I was your age, and then I grew up, and then I went to college, then I got married, then I had kids, then my kids got married, then my kids had kids and I became a grandma, then I started writing, and then I started traveling the country, and through all of this I was getting older and hopefully wiser and hopefully more self-confident. That's the changes that I had in my life, and sometimes the changes are not fun. Sometimes the changes that come into our lives are not particularly fun. I was at a school in Greensboro, South Carolina, and I met a young girl who was sitting in that classroom, and it was her first day in that class because her mom and dad had decided to move. One day they said, guess what, we're leaving our house in Texas and we're moving to South Carolina and you have no choice and you're moving, and that's it, boom, poof. And that was a change that she didn't particularly like. How would you feel if your mom or dad or somebody in your life said, you're leaving Waterbury, you're going to move to Alaska?
My mom, when we were in Orlando, and then my mom said that we're moving. My mom didn't tell me, but she was telling Wendy to get boxes and stuff. And then when I came home, there was a lot of things packed, and then I missed my whole entire school back in Orlando.
Yeah, you missed it. But you had two choices. We always have choices in life, and that's another thing that Tao teaches us. That we can make a choice. You could make a choice to say, I'm not going. There is no way I'm going to stay here and I'm not going to go. I'm going to wrap myself up in one of those boxes and I'm going to stay right here. Or you can say, okay, I don't necessarily like it, and I'm going to miss my friends back in Orlando, and I'm going to have to meet new people when I move to Connecticut. But what's a better way to do it? What's the happier way to do it? To say no?
No, enjoy your time there meeting new friends.
Exactly. And that's the what's it?
And then you can send them letters.
Absolutely. Anybody use computers? Ah. So You can write email and you can send like real letters and you can make phone calls, but there are some people who would rather say, no, I'm not going to go. Did you ever have something that you were told you had to do that you didn't want to do? Yeah. Let's hear some of it. What'd you have to do?
I had to move to another school. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to
stay in my older school.
Who else had something they...
Yesterday, my dad was complaining about how expensive going for the whole day here was. So he said I'm not going. So he said I'm